NORBA Mountain Bike Series rolls into SnoqualmiePass, Washington. The mountains of the Cascades, a perfect backdrop for America's best off-road cyclists. And welcome, everybody, to ESPN2 and our continuing coverage of the NORBA Mountain Bike Series. Peter Graves, Susan DiMattei with you. Susan, a new venue for us here, and I think everybody likes it.
I think everybody does like it. It's nice to be up high here. We're about 3,000 feet. Of course, here for the downhill, I think there's 3 words to describe it. It's rough, it's loose, and it's tough. Holding onto your bike is going to be a big factor here today.
All right, well, the course is right beside us here, and we'll take a look at some of that soft gravel and rocks that can reach out and puncture a rider's tire.
Yeah, mechanicals could be a problem here, whether it's a flat tire, a broken chain, anything like that. So they have to be able to finesse through some of these rocks, through the loose dirt, and find their way to the finish line.
All right, Susan, and the organizers are anxious to put on a good show because they're on the World Cup calendar for next year. We're ready for the start of competition on a beautiful day.
Yeah!
Mercedes Gonzalez warming up. Are we having fun yet? Mickey Douglas is ready. And our show today being brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. And by GT Bicycle. It's your world. Ride it. Ride for your own reasons.
Some mountain bikers get psyched by attaining spiritual oneness with nature. Some meditate to a higher power. Marla Streb gets psyched by running into a tree. This woman is serious. That's why we invented VO2 Max. Our performance core is clinically shown to enhance recovery by supplying antioxidants to fight oxidative stress.
That sounds good.
VO2 Max.
Are you serious?
In yet another torture test, we drained the oil from this car and added just this much Castrol Syntec. We then ran it over 100 miles per hour and waited and waited. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. And if a little Syntec can protect under these conditions, imagine what a full oil change can do. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't. And for your toughest cleaning tasks, try any Castrol Super Clean product.
Welcome back, friends. Peter Graves with you at SnoqualmiePass, about an hour's drive from Seattle, off the beaten path. It's a motel, a gas station, a couple of ski areas. It is lovely. Now, talk about unlovely. Look at this. If you fall on this course, an ambulance could be your ride home. We're ready to go. The top of the course today. A 2-mile drop, 1,050 vertical feet. The course, technical, loose. The surface is dry and dusty. But it's ready to challenge the KHS rider from Australia, Katrina Miller. Underway. She had a good qualifying run earlier today. It is lovely. You're going to be taking a look at some of these loose technical sections we have talked about today. The organizing committee and this venue here at SnoqualmiePass in Washington has been awarded a World Cup for next year. And they're anxious to put on a good show in this event. Next week, we'll be traveling to Deer Valley in Utah for the NORBA Finals. Watch that rock there. Some of this course so tough, so demanding, it resembles a lunar landscape. Katrina Miller now at the midway point of the course. You see, not pedaling much here, just trying to kind of ride it and survive. But when you're not pedaling, you're not picking up a lot of velocity. working her way down to the lower section of the course. Katrina Miller comes down now. She'll be setting the time to beat, and it is 3:23.33. The number one time for Katrina Miller from Australia with BMX background out of Australia. We'll go back up to the top. It is Kim Sonier, Flagstaff, Arizona, riding for Volvo Canada. A rider who traces her riding lineage back to the sport of motocross. There you go, Wayne. Huh? There you go. Sonier poised at the gate. It opens. We are underway. A rider like this could handle the course very well. Experienced, a former Grundig World Cup downhill champion. She used to be a professor of mathematics at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff. Solid riding here. You hear the bike just take a tremendous beating here. Up over that bump. Sonier's okay.
Greg and John.
Around this top turn.
Can you guys see that?
It has been a lovely couple of days up here at Snoqualmie. You certainly see fall in the air. The days seem shorter. The air crisp at night.
Good job. Keep going. Hey.
Sonier having a great ride. Remember, the time to beat is Katrina Miller at 3:23.33. Sonier is very close to the time of Katrina Miller. This is going to be close. An aggressive effort across the finish line. Sonier at 3:23.77. Not enough to overtake the lead of the Australian rider. She's in second place. First, ultimate. Start here, a rocky clearing at the top of the mountain. Puffy clouds abound here at Snoqualmie. And the 2-mile drop is about to meet Sherry Elliott out of Citrus Heights, California, the only woman who has ever been put into the BMX Hall of Fame. Her bike handling is superb. Now, most experts now think that Sherry Elliott is really coming to the top of her game. Susan caught up with her earlier and asked her about her bike handling ability.
But, you know, when you're going for it, sometimes you're going to get out of control. It's a matter of if you can handle it, you know, and hang on. And it's a handling course, and that's what predominantly I'm known for is my handling.
Go, go, go.
Her bike handling skills are superb, and if Sherry Elliott continues to ride like this, she is going to be a walking, talking, riding conglomerate in this mountain bike sport. Unbelievable. Elliott down to the finish line now. It is a great run for her. 3:16.62. She's in the lead. Longtime veteran Kathy Sessler right there to cheer her on. There's the time. Sherry Elliott is our new leader of the Visa Downhill. Running back right up to the top. Mercedes Gonzalez, out of Southern California, Spanish national, born in Madrid. Last week, she won the championships of Spain downhill. And it's a good start for Mercedes Gonzalez up there, handling her GT through this difficult and rocky section of the course. Every course we have been on this year has been different. And that's been great for the riders. It's been a real test. Gonzalez trying to get as much pedaling in as she possibly can. Then cruising around some of these difficult sections. There's that big rock right there. She takes it with a little bunny hop, and she is clear down along this fast section. Earlier, Susan talked with her about the importance of braking.
What do you do to keep yourself off the front brake through those steep sections?
You just stay off the front brake. No, it's, I ran my front brake really loose on this course, but you do need some front brake because down in the bottom we're getting up to some pretty high speeds, and you can't just stop with the rear brake. But I run it a little looser than normal, and that way it'll be less prone to kick me over the front.
I hope so. Thanks for the word on that. Good luck.
Thanks, Susan. I'm going to beat Lee. I want everybody to know that. I'm beating my best friend Lee at this race.
All right. Well, I wonder if Lee Donovan heard that. Anyway, we go back to the run of Mercedes Gonzalez, Team GT, out of Southern California. Pretty smooth here now. She's got to pick up some time somewhere. She's pretty close to Sherry Elliott, but if she wants to supplant her time, she's got to pick it up and be a little bit more aggressive down here. Riding through those bumps, very smooth. But Elliott has a 3:16.62, and it's a whopping good time. And now coming down to the finish, it's an all-out sprint. We'll watch the time as Gonzalez comes down to the finish. It's 3:20.30 and back about 4 seconds behind the time of Jerry Elliott. But Gonzalez now, as you see, is in second place and enjoying a moment to be in second. Going back to the top we go. Elke Brutzer, originally out of Orono, Maine, now living in Durango, Colorado, riding for Twin Toyota. She takes the count. It's 2 miles straight down here at SnoqualmiePass in Washington. Brutzer, who opened up the season with a win in Stellenbosch in South Africa, now finding just how tough this course is. And you notice almost all of these riders are spending a lot of time out of the saddle today. It's just so rough, so rocky. But this is the kind of terrain Brutzer is familiar with. There's a lot of this in Durango, Colorado, where Brutzer lives and trains. But it is a bumpy ride, and it's the kind of ride that shakes you up. Brutzer around that turn. Clear. Just spectacular scenery here today in the Cascade Mountains. But little time to enjoy it for our professional riders here. Brutzer having a great run. A little bit more aggressive. Do you sense it here? A little bit more pedaling than some of the other riders. She is very strong. And now, coming down to the finish line, Brutzer is superb. She's got a lead by about 4 seconds over Sherry Elliott. The clock will say 3:12.25. Brutzer in the lead. Brutzer in the lead ahead of Elliott. A terrific run for her. And what a confidence booster. So Elke Brutzer is going to be our winner today. Numero uno. And Susan is standing by with her.
Probably one of my stronger points is just rough, straight, holding it wide open, off the brakes kind of thing. I'm bigger than most of the other girls, and I carry my speed really well. I don't get bounced around as much. My bike was working really well. We have a new shock with 7 3/4 inches of travel, so that might have helped a little. Wow. But yeah, that's typically my strong point, is just, you know, wide open, off the brakes, rough stuff type of thing. So it was a good course.
Elke Brutzer, another look, tasting the exhilaration of a win here at Snoqualmie. And now it's time for the men. John Tomac is braced for a bumpy ride.
Meteor? How close? I'm on my way. Thanks, Mom. You're super.
We're about an hour outside of Seattle. SnoqualmiePass in Washington. The woods and mountains here are magnificent. They seem to call the hiker and the biker to test them. And ready for that test, Brian Lopes, Mission Viejo, California, his hometown. He's underway. They call him Flying Brian. And as this guy got to be something of a Hercules in the last couple of years with his lots of time in the gym, he's gotten very strong in the upper body too. And when you test your body on a course like this, you need to be strong in the legs, but upstairs as well. Lopes around this turn. You're going to see the guys, I think, be a little more aggressive on this course. Times are going to be a little quicker here. And Lopes skidding that bike through right on the edge of danger here and potential disaster. But Lopes looks good. Got a good ride going on.
Ready to go, buddy!
The forearms take a tremendous beating down here. Lopes into high gear, pedal, 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 fast, sprint, coming down to the finish, around the turn, flying Brian. He's going to be under 3. It is 2:57.10. Brian Lopes on top of the scoreboard with the best run we've had so far. Next up, Mike King. San Diego, California, his hometown, riding for Team GT. A fellow who would like to taste a win here. Former world champion. Fresh young face on the scene when he won that title in Metabier, France, back in 1993. A muddy course, a late day afternoon run. And Mike King's name was forever etched on the record book. Over the bump here, we've seen that big rock playing havoc with a lot of the riders here today, but for Mikey King, no problem. trying to pick a line here. Everybody's been experimenting with lines. Sean Palmer earlier, the specialized rider and silver medalist at last year's World Championships, took a big-time fall, dusting back the crowd. Mike King using the subtlety, the superb bike handling skill, and the leg hanging out there as he is in high gear, pushing it down to the finish line. King is on his way to a good run here. Mike King pushing it across. He will have a time of 2:56.16. Mike King is now at the top. Great run. Mike King in the lead. And now we move on to a man who has been superb here in training. Giant Tioga Answer Manitou rider John Tomac, the big cowboy, born in Michigan, moved from Durango out to the other end of the Four Corners in Cortez, Colorado. Earlier this year, he and his family live out there on a big farm, a ranch, and it's lovely. And I enjoy spending time with John Tomac, a consummate gentleman, a fisherman, and a great guy. Now watch Tomac. The subtleties here are interesting. He's very aggressive, but he handles the bike so smoothly. Watch this. Watch this bump here. Tomac should bunny hop over. He is clear. Look at no wasted energy. Very smooth upper body. Tomac on his way to a great run now. Mike King is currently our leader at 2:56.16. And John Tomac continues to amaze and impress everybody that knows him.
Go, Tomac!
Such a great rider. And the crowd picks him out, as you can hear in the background. Tomac clear through there. Perhaps lost a bit of time. And look at him. Hang that leg out there for balance. Right on the end. Tomac sprinting down to the finish line. Powerful legs. About to go into the lead if he can hold on. He's going to go ahead of Mike King. John Tomac at 2:53.13. Now number one at the top of our scoreboard. He's got a tough German to reckon with now. The gates open for number 55. It's Jürgen Benecke. Benny, a very popular rider who grew up riding in the forest, the Black Forest. He's a little off course there. Everybody's been picking a little different line today. They're wanting to try to find the ultimate smooth and cushiony ride. But it probably isn't there today because the rocks are strewn everywhere. Benny coming down here through this rock-strewn area, trying to pedal as much as he can. His legs are powerful. They are pistons. Breaking the momentum a little bit there. This is not the kind of course Benny prefers. He likes the high-speed Mammoth Mountain kind of courses. But today tests body, bike, rider, and even mind. And the dust is thick up here. You can taste the course. Benecke coming down, having a great ride here. He's going to move ahead of Tomac. Right now, he's on to go ahead of Tomac by less than a half a second. Now, if he can keep it up, Benecke across the finish line. 2:52.93 is the time. And he is 21 hundredths of a second ahead of Johnny T. Our camera's at the top. Focus in on Miles Rockwell. Out of California originally, rides for Volvo Cannondale. Now he too calls the mountain bike mecca of Durango, Colorado home. We're with you at SnoqualmiePass in Washington, 50 miles uphill from Seattle. The air is lovely up here today. And Miles Rockwell is coming back from injury, a bad injury, suffered in Italy a year ago. Such a great rider.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable here. It's like sort of like a double track sort of course. There's several lines and spots, and loose and bumpy and rocky, and very good for NORBA. Like they're improving their courses a lot, so it's nice to come to Snoqualmie and have a good course, and yeah, I'd be happy to race for sure.
We go back to Miles Rockwell on the course in a desperate bid to be at the top of our podium right now. We talked about earlier just how tough this course is on the body and the bike. And today a mechanical could be a big problem. Rockwell looks to be riding extremely well. The kind of rider that any time he takes to the course, he could make history. Rockwell right on the edge there, but he's able to hold it together. Great athleticism, a tall fellow, very strong. Rockwell getting beat up a little bit here on the course. Rockwell can't pedal here. He's got a chain problem. He's going to lose time. Rockwell can't pedal. He's trying to be as aerodynamic as he can. He comes across the finish line with a time of 2:55.74. It puts him in third place. Beneke will be our leader with this run, but Rockwell did everything he could to be on the podium.
This is kind of weird course because you got to push it really hard, and it doesn't feel smooth at all. It's always rough and hard. So you never know if you're fast or not. You just know if you hit your lines or not.
All right, well, coming up, the whole story on the dual slalom next. We'll return in a moment. Welcome back, mountain bike friends. There's Lee Donovan making an autograph on her Shimano action picture, and here she is in the starting gate. How'd she do that? She's underway. She's going to be battling one of the great mountain bike talents for the future, Nicole Grant, who's coming down with the red pants to the right of your screen. Nicole out of Boulder, Colorado. Lee Donovan, of course, long-time dominant figure in the mountain bike sport, but tonight she will ride for the consolation bracket in this competition today. Lee Donovan using those berms very, very well. Has picked a line with quite a bit of riding on this course today. And Donovan down to the finish. Lee Donovan will end up the day in third place. Now we take a look at the consolation run for the men and the intensity of Kurt Voorhees riding for Yeti, going up against Brian Lopes. An earlier bar to the competition puts Brian Lopes back into the consolation bracket here tonight. But Lopes is unbelievable, and Voorhees goes down. Voorhees goes down and now has to lick his wounds as Brian Lopes knows what happened, and he just cruises in. He will be third place tonight. He's got to be asking himself what might have been. And Lopes down to the finish in third place. We'll go back up to the top for the two final runs of the evening. The first for the women. Mercedes Gonzalez, Team GT, and Katrina Miller, brilliant young rider from Victoria, Australia, riding for KHS Arnett. We're underway in our dual slalom competition, the finals tonight. This should be a quite evenly matched battle here, but both of these gals will be pushing each other, trying to force a mistake. Gonzalez right now a little bit smoother, a little bit tighter with her lines. Now, very good cornering right there. You see her use that burn. She's got a slight lead on Miller, and she does it. She is going to take our dual slalom tonight, Mercedes Gonzalez, and she is our happy, that's the right word, slalom champion this evening. Lee Donovan there to help her celebrate. We'll go back up to the top for the final run. John Tomac doing the dual slalom thing. Goes up against Sean Palmer. Always a brilliant rider. Here at SnoqualmiePass, just outside of Seattle, Washington. We're ready to take the countdown now. You see Palmer coming down. Tomac getting a good start here. Underway. Palmer can stay with Tomac when he's riding well. Let's see what he does here tonight. But Tomac's so quick. So much. Watch the pedaling between gates. Pedal, pedal, pedal. A lot of pushing down. Straight down to that pedal. Little dab there for Palmer. Lost maybe a 100th of a second of time right there. And it's going to be John Tomac that's going to be victorious tonight in our dual slalom. Tonight, Mercedes rules and Susan's with her.
Yeah, it was very nerve-wracking. Katrina was riding awesome tonight, and I knew it, and I had the pressure on me, and I don't know, what can I say? I just put it together, and she rode a great race, so it was close racing, and all the fans just came up and thanked us for such a great race, and that just makes you feel good right there.
John, were you having any nerves out there for the last two races against Palmer?
Not really. I was a little more relaxed once I made it to the final, and I just wanted to ride as fast as I could. And I knew against Palmer I had to, really focus on the course And even after I won the first one, I knew he'd give it a good show, you know, the second time. So I tried to stay concentrated on going real fast the second time, too.
And a look at the podium here at Snoqualmie. Mercedes Gonzalez enjoying a big win at our Visa Downhill. She's a happy lady. Katrina Miller there, Lee Donovan. And there's Johnny T. Good job for him. Sean Palmer will be in second. Brian Lopes and Kurt Voorhees. It's been a great day for the dual slalom. And now Elke Broussard ready to enjoy being the victor today. Sherry Elliott, Mercedes Gonzalez, and Katrina Miller, Kim Saunier round out the top 5. And there is Jürgen Benecke grabbing the win here at Snoqualmie. Up on top, over Johnny T. Miles Rockwell, a courageous ride. Mike King in 4th, Brian Lopes in 5th. The final look at our dual slalom and our show today being brought to you by Visa, NORBA Preferred Visa. And by GT Bicycle.